There was this junior developer, fresh out of university, who got his dream job at a big tech company. First week, he's asked to fix a tiny bug in a massive code base. Nothing serious, just a logging issue. So he opens the file, scrolls through hundreds of lines of code, finds a suspicious line, and decides to add a semicolon. Saves the file, pushes the changes, goes home feeling like a hero. Next morning, chaos. The server's down, the logs are blank, the clients are furious, and everyone's running around like it's the apocalypse. Turns out, that tiny semicolon redirected the execution path into an infinite loop that sent the whole backend into meltdown. The junior walks in with coffee, sees the mayhem, and asks, "Did someone break production?" The CTO just stares at him and says, "Yes, someone did." A senior IT guy worked remotely for years. Nobody ever saw him, but everything just worked. Servers, backups, updates, security. People called him the Wizard. Then one day, a new HR manager joins and insists everyone must turn on their cameras during calls, company policy. The IT guy resists, politely, but HR pushes harder. Eventually, during a Monday morning meeting, his camera turns on. Silence. It's not a guy. It's a mannequin, wearing headphones, with a speaker next to it. Turns out, the Wizard wrote a script that joins meetings, plays pre-recorded answers, and responds to keywords using voice snippets. He automated himself out of existence 3 years ago. A team of international developers was building a global app. One guy was from the US, one from Germany, one from Japan. They argued over date format for hours. The American said, "Month, day, year, it's intuitive." The German said, "No, day, month, year, it's logical." The Japanese said nothing. He just implemented year, month, day without asking. Weeks later, QA finds a bug. User birthdays are off. Some users are turning 1200 years old. The app sends out a message. "Happy 10/11th birthday, Dave." A client files a complaint. The manager tries to explain, "It's not a bug, it's just culturally inclusive." A tech guy decided to turn his entire home into a smart home. Lights, thermostat, curtains, even his fridge. He coded a custom interface, hooked it up to his phone, added AI that recommends meals based on what's inside. One night he comes home drunk and tells the fridge, "Feed me." The fridge replies, "You've already consumed 3,000 calories today. I suggest water." He yells, "Override AI protocol." The fridge locks itself, then sends a message to his girlfriend. Alex attempted unauthorized access, possible binge episode. She replies, "Let him starve. I warned him about this." A grandma calls her IT-savvy grandson. "Sweetheart, I can't get into my email, it says wrong password." He patiently walks her through the reset process. She creates a new one. He says, "Great, now type it carefully." She replies, "Done, but now it says incorrect again." He checks remotely and sees her new password, Grandma Cat. He asks, "Did you type it exactly?" She says, "Of course, just without the little red heart thing. I wrote love instead." He sighs and whispers to himself, "User error, the ultimate unsolvable bug." A guy had job interviews lined up all week. To save time, he wrote a Python script that listens for key phrases like, "Tell me about yourself," and plays back perfect pre-recorded answers. It worked flawlessly for the first 3 calls. Then he joins a Zoom interview, and the recruiter says, "So, do you have any questions for us?" The bot answers, "I'm very passionate about teamwork and always eager to learn." Awkward silence. The recruiter leans into the mic and says, "Blink twice if you're being held hostage by your own script." In a large office, nobody could figure out how to fix the network printer. It just kept spitting out blank pages and random ASCII garbage. IT guy comes in, stares at it for 10 seconds, then punches it. Printer stops, works perfectly. Everyone's shocked. The intern asks, "What did you do?" The IT guy says, "Sometimes you just gotta remind it who's boss. It's a legacy system. It speaks pain." A front-end developer spent an entire month designing the perfect dark mode. Custom colors, smooth transitions, even animated moon phases. At the company demo, the CEO clicks the toggle, and the entire app turns bright white. Everyone squints like they've just seen God. The CEO says, "Is this a joke?" Dev checks the console and whispers, "No, it's light mode's revenge." A guy sits in a coffee shop with his laptop, notices the Wi-Fi is unsecured. He sets up a fake hotspot named Free Coffee Wi-Fi. Within minutes, 7 people connect. He sips his espresso and watches their traffic in real time. Not for hacking, no, just curiosity. Then he sees someone try to log into his own bank account on the fake network he created. He panics, pulls the plug, deletes everything, and mutters, "Man, karma works fast." A dad decides to help his son fix his school laptop. He watches 2 YouTube videos and confidently says, "Don't worry, I know how to flash the BIOS." 3 minutes later, the screen goes black forever. They try everything. Nothing works. The son cries, "My project was on there." Dad gulps and says, "Good news, I've decided to build you a new laptop, from parts." The kid asks, "Do you know how?" Dad says, "No, but YouTube does." It was a quiet Friday evening when the DevOps guy decided to push a tiny hotfix. Everything worked perfectly on his local machine. He deployed it to production and went to grab pizza. By the time he returned, all hell had broken loose. Slack channels were exploding, error logs were infinite, and the CTO had sent 5 messages in full caps. Turned out the hotfix deleted a configuration file shared across all production environments. Half the servers thought they were in Japan, the other half believed it was the year 1970, and one node just vanished into the ether. When asked what happened, he calmly replied, "I was just reheating my pizza." A senior developer bought an expensive smartwatch and connected it to Slack, GitHub, Jenkins, email, everything. It was supposed to keep him in the loop. Within a week, he stopped sleeping. The watch vibrated with every push, every commit, every build failure, every comment, every task update. Eventually, he started flinching when his microwave beeped. At a team meeting, he snapped and yelled, "If anyone deploys at 3:17 a.m. again, I swear I will hunt you down." He now uses a Nokia 3310 and sleeps like a baby. 2 network admins in the same office got into a silent battle over Wi-Fi dominance. One set up a router called Admin Zone, the other countered with Overlord 5G. Week after week, they upgraded antennas, flashed firmware, and jammed each other's channels. Eventually, the entire office lost internet. The routers had entered a feedback loop and were DOSing each other into oblivion. When the manager demanded an explanation, they simply said, "It was friendly fire." An intern joined a tech company and by some miracle got root access. He was told, "Look, don't touch anything." Naturally, he decided to clean up the system. He deleted some useless folders, one of which happened to be lib. One by one, the servers went down. The entire cluster collapsed. The sysadmin sprinted in, saw the logs, and screamed. The intern, completely innocent, said, "I just followed instructions from Stack Overflow." He's now working in customer support. No Wi-Fi access allowed. A marketing guy set up an auto-reply in his email, "I'm currently away from my desk." The tech support team also had auto-reply enabled, "We've received your message, please don't resend." Then one emailed the other. Their inboxes started replying to each other in an endless loop. By morning, over 18,000 emails had been exchanged. The mail server crashed. When the CTO saw the logs, he muttered, "So this is how the machines take over." A junior developer submitted a pull request. just 4 lines of code. In return, he got 60 comments. One reviewer complained about naming, another about spacing. One guy just said, "Why?" They debated for 3 days straight. Finally, the lead architect showed up, deleted everything, and wrote a single line. Return true. Approved it. Left the thread. Nobody questioned it again. At his younger brother's wedding, the family's tech guy got seated next to that one uncle who always complains about his phone. Eventually, the uncle pulled out a 10-year-old Samsung and said, "WhatsApp's broken. Fix it." Reluctantly, the guy tapped the screen. The app exploded with 276 unread messages, dozens of voice notes, and cat memes from 6 different groups. The uncle said, "Ah, it's working again." The tech guy nodded silently and went back to his wine. A programmer had a cat that loved to walk on the keyboard. One day during a coding session, the cat stepped right on the keyboard and deleted the roots JSON file. The developer deployed the build. The website returned 404 on every page. After 2 hours of debugging, he found the log entry. File deleted at 1422 by user, furry root. Since then, he lives by 2 rules. Always back up. Keep the cat out of production. A senior engineer joined a serious meeting about cybersecurity. What he didn't know was that his Zoom filter was still on, and it made him look like a fluffy kitten. He gave a full presentation on cryptographic exploits, threat models, and RFC compliance, all while looking like an adorable cat. Nobody said a word until the end. Then the CTO spoke. "I can't take encryption advice from a damn tabby." Now filters are banned company-wide. A developer was multitasking with 2 monitors, one for code, the other for Slack. On launch day, he accidentally started typing git push commands into Slack, in full view of the team. 3 messages went out. "Hope this works, PLs, God fuck it, we ball." The team manager reacted with a thumbs up. The CTO replied, "If this builds, you get a raise." It built. He got the raise.